The following program contains 4 podcasters who can be dumb at times. Don't worry, we realized Alyssa's mic was off about a minute in.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow, you guys, episode 10.
We're almost done.
Yeah. Literally, the next episode is the
The penalty box.
the penultimate episode. It's pretty insane.
Whoa.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
What does penultimate mean?
Second to
Yeah,
last.
it means you have the best writing utensil.
Wait, but wouldn't episode 12 be the penultimate because we have a bunker after 12? Got him.
But the bunkers
Boom.
aren't episodes. They're just bonus.
Oh, that's a good point.
They're
That's a good point.
bonuses.
The bunker.
So welcome back to episode 10.
Welcome back. You've been here
Chapter
before,
10,
and now you're here
Bunker
again.
10. This is June decides to buy a motorcycle. Okay, so
Vroom, vroom, baby.
I want to say full transparency. I came up with that title, I think, like 15 minutes before we just scheduled the podcast for posting like the night before.
Nice.
Do y'all like it? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like it could be so much better, but
It probably could, but I couldn't. I tried to think of something, but I couldn't.
I
Think
had
of
a few
anything better.
options, but then I had a few options, but then I was like, I don't know. It was hard to
Trying to do
figure
some
out.
sort of love and
ah.
war.
Okay, and we're back, and now we're recording
Hi,
Alyssa's
everyone.
channel as well.
Welcome to
Guys,
the bunker.
Welcome to the very first time that we've ever opened for Bunker 10.
Opened.
This is the first time we've ever started this episode, and
I gotta pee now.
Josiah just got up to go pee, and we've been sitting here for at least an hour.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's okay. Hey guys, welcome to the Whirlwind Chronicles. This is the first time we've ever started
Yep.
this episode
100%.
Bunker.
Oh, I
And
We've
it'll
never
be the
started
last.
another time.
Yeah,
Yep.
first time.
First time.
And it's crazy how
We're
that
really
happens.
professional.
And listen, if this is your first time tuning into the episode, go back to the prologue and listen to that first.
If
because
not the
there's some
episode.
major.
If this is your first time tuning into this episode, that's actually what you should be doing. But if this is your first time tuning into the Whirlwind Chronicles as a whole,
Oh, yeah.
then you should head on back.
If this is your first time tuning in to this episode, hi, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. If this is your first time listening to a podcast ever,
Let us tell you a little bit about how those work.
yeah. So basically,
We
people
come to your
sit
house.
behind these mics, and we just kind of talk about whatever we feel like talking about, and you can listen to it.
This is weird.
Take 4. 3, 2, 1.
Penguins.
Welcome to the Whirlwind Chronicles.
Yes,
Episode 10.
episode 10.
Wow, you guys.
Wow.
I honestly.
Bunker.
Double
it's-
digits.
It's actually really, not gonna lie, it's really surreal that we made it double digits.
Yeah.
Because part of me, and this happens just pretty much every single creative project I work on where I convince myself that it's not real and that it's never going to
Sure.
actually happen.
I
don't
get that.
know.
I
I don't know if
understand.
you guys ever done that
Hey,
before,
Laura,
but I do it
we're
every
here.
time.
This is real.
Hold my
You're
hands.
not
Hold my
sleeping.
hands.
You're not dreaming.
Oh my gosh. Me and Alyssa are holding
Joe
hands. We're
really
holding
does
hands.
look
That's
like
cute.
that. I know it's hard to believe.
Hey.
I know
No,
it's
but
hard
it's
to believe.
true. It's one of those things where it just it lives in your own brain for so long, but that by the time you share it and then realize you are consistently sharing it, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
True.
What? This doesn't exist just in my brain anymore?
I
So
think
I'm pretty proud of us.
we started meeting about maybe doing the show a year ago around this time, right?
Had to be longer.
Way
than that.
longer.
Yeah.
okay,
it was in a
let's
Starbucks
let's
or
see when
something.
it is.
Well, I think it was May, June.
I thought it was
Because
2
then we
years ago.
started. What?
I thought it was 2 years ago.
Before. No, it was before. It was before a movie. Shout out for. We were gonna go see a movie. The location we went to. It was a movie. We went to see something. Wait. We met a whole bunch of people to go see it. Yeah. Yes, because we were inside talking. So are you guys? Just to be clear, you're talking about the moment where the show was one thing and then we came up with this concept. Okay. So we were sitting in that outdoor section outside of Uncle Julio's. Right. But then we decided to do audio only inside the theater, next to the. So right. We were sitting on this.
Dungeons and
Chairs.
Dragons. It was the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it actually? Yes.
So
Yeah,
when
it
did
was.
that come
It
out?
was.
Someone check when that came out.
March 31st.
Crew neck.
2023?
Yeah.
It was
Last
really
year.
only a little over a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I really thought
That
we'd been doing
tracks.
this longer.
Yeah, that tracks.
So, episode 10.
That was my episode.
That
I
was
DM'd that.
Josiah's episode.
I knew it.
Josiah definitely listens to the show. It's a bit that he doesn't. He does listen.
I do.
Right,
listen.
Josiah?
Huh?
The thing about episode 10 that I think is that I really like is that just despite the fact that like it's not a ton of necessarily action, like we don't fight a monster or anything
Yeah.
like that, there's a lot that happens within character relationships with all four of our characters throughout the episode.
Right.
And then there's a lot that's established within like foundational lore. We've come to call it the lore dump episode.
The lore dump episode.
But yeah,
lore.
I think it's like it's one of those episodes that it's not as action packed, but it's so vital to I think setting up some of the conflict and setting up also like the season finale that's coming up, because the next one isn't the season finale, but it's the penultimate, which leads into the season finale. So like it's kind of like run and gun from here on out for the rest of the season. So
Not a lot of fluff in that episode. Just the meat.
In which one?
In
This
episode 10.
MEET
Yeah.
or MEAT?
Just the
MEHEAT.
I want to know. This is a genuine question. Okay, so there's a point where we go to the Cal goes to like the smoke shop,
Yeah.
and you mentioned that there's like a shoplifter's box or
Yeah.
Oh
something.
yeah, the Shoplifters 5. Yeah.
A shoplifter's 5.
Fiverr.
Did you just come up with that, or is that like a real thing that you've seen before?
No, I came up with that on the
Okay.
spot.
Oh, that's good. That
Because
was
the
funny.
way that you say it, you're like, yeah, just like a shoplifter's 5.
Yeah, just throw like a Shoplifters 5. Yeah,
And I was like,
I wanted
what?
to make
It
it
sounded
seem
like a
very
real
much
thing.
like that guy's talking about something normal that just
Well,
happens
you
in
did.
that
Great
world.
job.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you'd like seen that before in real life or not.
No, I've never.
Something you're very good at as a DM. I was thinking about this as I was editing. Is you don't. You do take a lot of time to like focus on tiny little details of something, but it makes the world feel really lived in. So you like the shoplifter's Fiverr. You're like that to me makes the world feel lived in because it's like very specific small detail, and it tells me more about the world than like a big general overview of a ton of things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
That was my intention with that, was like given the pacing of that interaction, I'm like, I don't think they're gonna hit a lot of like locations and interact with a ton of NPCs.
Yeah.
So I need to make everyone count in the sense that like I need that potentially one conversational interaction to give a good picture of how everybody in that like
Right.
in that city is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that June heard that and then was like, I'm gonna steal something. I was sitting there like, you're horrible. That's horrible. Anyone who works in the service industry
guy.
or works as like, in like retail, like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I think the way she heard it though was it's expected and like
She takes
you're
things literally.
supposed to here.
She takes things
Yeah,
literally.
so she was like, "Oh, like you're supposed to do that? Well, I've always wanted to try it. Great."
which is hilarious.
I can do it and not feel that bad.
Oh, he's telling me that I'm supposed to steal.
Yeah.
But then you were like,
Yeah.
the guy looks
Just
so
a
sad. And we're
Blatant
like, oh.
misinterpretation of
Yeah.
what he said.
Pretty much.
Okay, there was a lot of lore though. Should we like sum up the lore of what has happened?
Long story short, as a DM, I dropped the proverbial trowel and took a big, steamy lore dump all over the episode.
No, confidence, Josiah. Confidence.
No, I'm not saying it's
It was
a bad
great.
thing. It's just
Oh.
that's just happened.
Well, that's
you know?
true.
I think this is the episode I think where we started to realize like, oh yeah, we need to like
Build this
but we also need to be really intentional
Yeah.
about how we keep track of lore too. So I'm very curious to know y'all's thoughts about this actually, like your approach to keeping lore in the brain, but also being like, this is fully improv, because we're getting to a point now where there is common knowledge and like it's out there, like everything that the listeners know is what we know. Like we're not we might have personal lore for our characters that we don't tell each other, like we have backstory stuff that we won't tell each other. I know there's more to like y'all's characters that we don't share necessarily, but like shared lore,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious
Yeah.
what y'all think.
Personally, it's really hard for me to keep all the lore straight of just, like, I don't know. It's just hard. So I think that something that's going to be really helpful is for us to, like, we've talked about starting like a lore board, basically, of just like a cork board of information of, okay, this is what's happened so far. Just, I mean, essentially like taking notes in a D&D campaign, but having it for all of us.
Basically,
we
here
just
are
have
all
like
the
a shared note. Almost.
Here are all the threads. Here's what's going on, just to kind of keep it all straight.
But also, like, here are all the loose ends.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, here are like the 2 to 5 loose ends that we haven't like figured out yet.
Yeah.
So, like, we need to figure out how to wrap maybe 1 or 2 of them up this season, or like whatever. Like, figuring out the things we can't just leave like plot holes, you know.
Well, I think also,
I'm gonna say, like, we don't want to have that as kind of like with an ultimatum attached, like, oh, we need to have this many loose ends wrapped up before the season, because that would kind of be like, that would put some pressure on a DM to like railroad things a little bit. But I think just having a board, whether it's physical or like some other thing that we're all looking at, keeping track of what's already been said, so that as a DM you can just know not to deviate from that. And to only like to just not change what's already happened, because it can kind of start to get harder to keep track of after episodes like this where just a lot happened at once.
I think also like the fact that because we were doing this in such a unique way, we're all DMing, we're all creating the lore separately. I mean, as soon as like Josiah in your episode, right, like you start giving us lore and giving us backstory on certain things, I'm sure all 3 of us then started thinking, oh, okay, what could I do with that? What could I do with that? Like, not a ton, but some. And so I think part of what is going to be really important for us to actually like have this lore board and shared note or whatever it's going to look like is to also go like differentiate from, okay, what happened in my brain and what was I thinking could be, the answers to the different questions, and what actually happened, you know what I mean? Because we're constantly like, I don't know, does that make sense? It's a lot of information that we're trying to process of what's in my head and what's in actually happening. It's like interesting.
You like kind of try to take the DM hat off when you're not DMing, but you're also like like you can't help it. You're going, that's so cool, it could go like, you're always thinking of like, what if it goes this way, and then you like realize like, I do have the power to do that if I end up DMing next episode.
Right.
And that's exactly like, this episode was an example of that, where like Joe did something and then I was like, ooh, it could be this thing, it could be this thing, and then I just kind of made that canon.
Right, and that's fine.
But I liked it though. I mean, you also had a difficult thing because you had to jump right in with lore. Because we started off the episode of like what happens, but because it's not like, because we ended on a cliffhanger, it's instead of like, what do you do in the weeks to come, I was just like, what's in the books? And you have to like right off the bat be like, what's in the books? And like we established this in our trailer, but like we don't have much prep time. We have about 10 minutes, right? 10 to 15 minutes. And so like there's not time to go and sit and have like a prep session. So you literally were like thrown in the deep end.
Well, so that's why I did what I did, kind of. So like Edna's reading all these books, and so I was like, I just kind of have to like play with her attention and just like give like little nuggets that really doesn't like lead to anything immediate that I say this is what it says, but it's just like really small like little like Easter eggs almost that you're grasping at. So and I figured then like throughout the course of like whatever story I end up weaving, I could like buy myself time to like formulate something more substantial to give you.
Little Easter eggs.
And that could be up to interpretation whether that substance was too heavy, but no,
it's good though.
Joe, what did you think about the lore that was built off of what you had established in the previous episode?
I liked it. I think it was fun. I think also, to your credit, like usually we record usually like once every other week or like once a week, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, when we recorded this, we recorded like two back-to-back days, I think
we did.
So like even more like, obviously, like Laura says, we only have 10 minutes to prepare, but like in the back of our minds, when we're listening to it and editing it stuff, we're kind of like thinking about like, this could be a fun thing. You kind of ruminate. But even to more your credit, you had like less than 24 hours of even thinking about it, and we're just like, this is.
And
you didn't,
you didn't know you were going to be the DM.
Yeah, you don't know you're going to DM. Granted, you guys probably agree. Like when there are lore things, like sometimes you'll just be like, "Ooh, I could maybe run with this potentially next time."
I didn't have enough time to
I
didn't have as much time as you would normally expect to have to like go, "Ooh, that was really cool what happened last night," and then you have your initial thoughts, and then you sit with them long enough to parse out which ones are like. Which ones you like and which ones you don't, or maybe you have new better ones. Those were the first connections I came up with regarding that, and just that's what we rolled with.
I mean, like I think I kind of said like it was basically like I think I said it in the last bunker, like it was supposed to be like basically a full encyclopedia of other whirlwinds, and that's pretty much what you did. Was you were like, yeah, they are, but they're all redacted similar to the one we got.
I loved that. I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's
and the way you figured it out was really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of brings me to a new topic, but it's like sort of related. When you're talking about like you don't have enough time, so you don't like think about it a ton, and then like later on you're like, oh, I could have done it a different way, and I never thought of it that way. I sometimes think that for like the genre and the hook of the episode of like, oh wait, we chose like
I do that too.
Like what was it? Romance wild card or whatever.
Like how would that have panned out if we went with like a different thing?
A different concept. Yeah. And so like it is funny. There's 2 questions I have with this, so I don't want to like get too ahead of myself. Number 1, I'm curious what you guys think about recycling genre and hooks. Because I think that would be kind of fun to do like long term of like reintroducing old genres, because it will probably be paired with new stuff. But then 2, Josiah, I want to hear about how romance ties into this, because it was subtle, but there were hints of it, and I know what you were thinking a little bit. So I'm curious to your thoughts about this. But yeah, I don't want to like jump the gun too much, because I know that's 2 questions. But yeah.
I mean, I'm so down for bringing stuff back into the rotation.
Yeah.
I feel like there's only so many genres.
At
some point we're gonna have to anyways.
Well, there are other ones that I think we'd want to revisit at some point, just because like, I mean, Joe's definitely someone who does this a lot. Like it happens and he goes, "Oh, I wish I'd gotten that one."
I know. There's so many I want to do.
Yeah.
I just love that's like such.
He
a
wants
fun
a cereal
game
war.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just like enjoy it as like a I don't know, like a game almost of like, this is the hook, this is the genre, what comes to mind, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, I want to do this one. Like,
I understand.
Like there
I
was
see
this,
what you're saying.
It's good improv instincts.
Thank you. But it's also just like, I don't know. I think some of my favorite concepts that even I've come up with in my head are the ones that I just think of like really fast. And like the really simple, like you only have a sentence and nothing's planned, but like this is a fun sentence.
Yeah.
Like, and I've explained some of them before, but like a great example of this is like, I think it was, don't hold me to this, but I think it was one of the D&D like official Dungeons and Dragons book writers, and he tweeted that he asked his like 7-year-old daughter for like a one-shot quest line.
Oh yeah.
And his 7-year-old daughter just replied, the bakers a bunch of bakers bake a cake for a wedding and have to deliver the cake to the wedding. And I was like, oh my gosh, what an amazing, perfect concept. Like that kind of sentence is what pops into my head every time I hear a premise. It's like something super basic, but you know how much stuff you could do with just bakers having to deliver a cake to a wedding?
Yeah.
How many things that could go wrong, or things that you could just randomly throw in there? Like, I just love... So I love when they come around, and I want them to keep coming around again.
Yeah. I mean, simple is always almost better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say every time, but like almost, because you can usually fill it up.
Yeah.
Way more than you realize.
Yeah.
Speaking of genre and hooks, if anybody has any ideas for us, you listener, I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about our listeners, Joe.
John?
Not Josiah.
Not Josiah.
John, are you there?
John, listen to
John,
this.
what do you think about this, first of all?
That's a tough take.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that.
I disagree on that one, John.
Well, okay, so John, not you.
Frankly, that was out of pocket.
Yeah, it was a little.
John, wait, is Frank here?
Who's Frank? Who's Frank?
Josiah was not impressed by that joke.
I air high-fived you and you didn't.
I didn't get it.
Okay. So
I'm gonna be right back. You better have something really inspirational for me when I get back. I have to use the bathroom.
Inspirational?
Or just something
guys,
enlightening.
No. You heard her. We need to come up with something inspirational. You go.
Okay.
You go and come back, and we'll have something for you. Don't you worry.
Okay, wait. This whole podcast has now changed. We have to come
Guys.
up with something
Well,
inspirational.
first of all, Laura's gone. This is crazy. What are we gonna do?
We gotta come up with something inspirational. We
Inspirational.
only have so
Okay.
long.
Okay, what inspires Laura?
What inspires anyone in general?
What
the
is
great-
inspiration?
The Great Bambino.
We could sing her a song. We could
Six
sing her the
birds.
song
Babe
about how
Ruth.
Six birds is
we
less
have to
than
whisper
5.
so
That's
she
pretty
can hear us.
inspirational.
baseball game.
6 birds is more than 5.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Six
so true.
birds is more than 5. Just say that.
We could just hit her with that.
That's not inspirational.
It kind of is if you think about it.
Listen, birds of a feather stick together,
And 6 are more than 5.
and 6 are more than 5.
Okay, that's pretty good, I guess. I was gonna tell everybody if they have any genre or hook ideas that they could comment on any
That's
of our
right,
socials
comment on
or
the socials.
email us at
Don't
Whirlwind
email
Chronicles.
us. Just leave a comment on the YouTube or the
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah,
true.
way
run up
easier.
the numbers on the social platforms. Please.
Laura's
We need to get some
back!
engagement on our posts, or you could show up to Joe's house.
No, don't do that.
I'm so glad you're back.
All right, we have
came up
something.
with
We have something
inspiration.
All right,
inspirational.
I'm
for
ready.
You ready? Birds of a feather stick together, and 6 birds is more than 5 birds.
Aren't you so inspired
I
right now,
I
bro?
wasn't super thrilled with the delivery, but
It was interesting delivery, but that is the words that we came up
we
with.
never said it that way, but that's
No.
all right. Thoughts?
Inspired?
Laura's crying out of motivation right now.
I'm
Inspiration.
just really confused, so I'm laughing because I'm trying to figure out.
Here's the
Laura's
thing,
frantically packing her backpack right now.
Yeah,
It was-
wow, really good, guys. Okay, bye.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No,
it
yeah,
was
very. I have a lot to think
super-
about. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
inspirational things should make you think.
Guys, it's that time. Alyssa, I'm pretty sure you have the copy today. Is that correct?
I do have the copy today.
Oh wow.
Wow, I haven't had the copy in a long time.
No,
I'm
you
so
haven't.
excited to hear what you have to say.
That's
We're really excited
good.
about our sponsors today.
I'm really excited about
Through
the
the
sponsor
roof.
today. Like I couldn't possibly be more
Through the
excited.
roof.
Alyssa, none of that is on the copy. Could you just read?
Yeah,
what's on the
sorry.
paper? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's see here. We would like to thank our sponsor. I'm holding the paper. You see?
Yep.
She's miming it
For
right
the
now.
audio, for the audio
For us
listeners.
audio listeners. Well, we're really excited about this sponsor today. We have actually been trying to get a deal with them for weeks, really. And we are really, really pumped that they finally said yes. So, a big shout out to Silly Farms Wackadoodles. So Silly Farms Wackadoodles are a really awesome company. They
Tell us a little bit about Silly Farms Wackadoodles,
So Silly
Alyssa.
Farms Wackadoodles, they've created this product that basically, if you are trying to figure out how to get rid of termites.
She looked at me and said termites. Do you know why you looked at me and said termites, Alyssa?
I do know why.
Do you know why?
Because the termites
the
that
last
sponsored the
sponsor
last bunker
was the one
are-
I came up with.
That's right.
And I said,
The termites.
today we're sponsored by a group
The
of local termites.
The termites from the last bunker were not too happy.
And
that
we're
we
trying
took
to get
Silly
rid of
Farms
them.
Wackadoodles, because Silly Farms Wackadoodles is at war with the group of
Yeah.
termites.
Well,
Basically,
Silly
our
Farms
sponsors hate each
Wackadoodles-
other.
Wait,
Yep.
should
Silly
we have taken
Farms-
the sponsor? Isn't that a conflict
It's a
of
war,
interest?
Josiah.
It's okay because
It's
the
episode to episode.
The group of termites only sponsored us for that episode.
That's right.
It wasn't a long contract. It was just a one episode contract. Silly Farms Wackadoodles. Call them today and they will take care of your termite problem.
Termites.
Termite problems. And so if you have a termite problem, please call 1-800-789-3251.
I pray that's not a real number.
And if it is, I'm pumped for you to figure out who it is. Silly Farms Wackadoodles. Now.
You need a
I have
catchphrase. You need a
follow-up question.
catchphrase.
Sorry.
Oh, Silly Farms Wackadoodles. We get them out of here with a silly whack.
No, Liz.
Well, that leads to my follow-up question, and that's you say they've come up with this new product for getting rid of termites.
You're gonna ask this because I had the same thought.
Yeah, so you said they have a new product for geting rid of termites. Now we've seen a lot of poisons and pest control. Diatomaceous earth or what have you.
Of course.
So
naturally.
I want to know.
Diatomaceous earth.
I want to know what this new product is that they've come up with.
Their new product actually is really exciting, guys. And the cool thing about what they're doing today is if you buy 2 right now, you can get 5 free. Let me say that again. Let me let that sink in. If you buy 2 right now, you can get 5 for free.
Oh my god!
And it's only $1.
Did this company text you and ask for your credit card information?
Listen, this is the ad copy. I don't know. Somebody just handed it to me, and I just read what's there.
We need you to go to a Target, and we need you to buy 10 gift cards.
All right, so Silly Farms Wackadoodles. If you need termites, they know how to get them out of here. Buy 2, get 5 free.
Alyssa, so what's the product that you're buying 2 and then getting 5 free? What is the item?
So
Josiah, I'm glad you asked.
I have a product in mind.
All right,
okay, go ahead.
It's a box of matches. They want you to light your house on fire if you've got termites.
And pyromaniac right
there. It is.
In case you all didn't know,
Thanks, Silly
Alyssa
Farms.
is a big fan of fire.
Silly Farms, I hope you sponsor us.
What was this
again.
one called? Silly Farms Wackadoodles.
Silly Farms has a lot of products.
It's interesting we keep giving Alyssa all the copy for the kooky names. Like her last...
Shimmy Shams a Rock.
Shimmy Shams Rock.
Yes.
How do you guys remember this?
I don't know.
You know, it's not hard with...
I'm shook right now. How do you guys remember this?
Because you come up with such memorable names.
Alyssa didn't remember Jeremy's Wood Goods or whatever, but remembered Shimmy Shams the Rocks.
I literally... Oh my word.
All right, one last time. If you buy 2, you will get 5 free.
And you
Silly Farms.
You may be wondering how that's profitable for the company.
No.
And if you are, then
then we don't want you.
Yeah.
They're going out of business.
Yeah. This is
like what? We can't say that, Laura.
Yeah.
That's why we're sponsoring them.
This is like the movie pass.
They're sponsoring us.
I mean,
guys, this is like the movie pass of pest control. Like, there's no way this is viable long term.
It's like, we'll burn your house down.
That's it.
This company
We'll give you 5 more
this
products.
company we have accepted a sponsorship from hates our previous sponsor and has declared war on the group of local termites and basically said, sell them
Silly Farms
on the fact that Silly Farms will come and burn your house down for free.
Oh my gosh. That's insane, Joe. Do you understand what this means? See you next week.
all right, you guys.
Back into it.
Any other? Oh, I do want to get back to my question.
Yeah,
now,
the romance
before we move on to the pod decks.
Romance.
Yeah, I want to talk about the romance because I think there was a few elements that tied it in, but it was all very subtle. It wasn't like a just black and white romance plot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. So a lot of, and it's so funny that a lot of the kind of inner character conflict was centered around Cal, because I designed the whole location as somewhere that Cal would fall in love with.
Yeah.
That was the romance I had in mind.
Yeah.
But because you guys were moving through it so quickly, I then kind of pivoted and decided to throw a potential
woman.
I liked her. I thought she was a cool character.
Yeah.
And I also loved the idea of having like a different dialect of Thieves' Cant. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It actually became, I didn't even realize this till just now, but it became a big part of my current character for other like home game campaign of like designing my character's like criminal background. Cause I did a homebrew background, like her Thieves' Cant thing of having different dialects. Like I didn't even realize that till just now, but that was where that idea came from. Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Credit to you, Josiah.
Wow.
But yeah.
I literally did that because I was like, I want, like, he doesn't want things to happen a certain way, but like I want to manipulate this situation.
Yes, that's a good way to do it, honestly.
I was like,
though.
yeah, she doesn't understand your version of Thieves' Cant. It's a different version.
Yeah. No, but honestly, that's a good way to do it. Like, you do it in a fun way, and then also miscommunication is one of the best
most fun things, like devices you can put in like a story, in my opinion, because I think it creates a lot of fun moments.
Yeah.
So
Miscommunication is my least favorite thing to put in a story.
Really?
Because it stresses
me
you out.
so much, and I completely agree that it's a good story point.
No, but I don't.
Miscommunication.
I don't mean like someone does something based off the fact that they thought the other person wanted them to do something else.
Oh.
I don't mean like actions. I mean just like basic communications of like, why are you mad at me? I'm not mad at you. Like just character relationships.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Is what I mean. I don't mean the whole miscommunication plot where like, you know, where the like, you know how like in some like books with like the romance, they'll have like an ending that feel like a conflict at the end that feels contrived because there's actually no reason for them to have conflict, except the only way they can do it is to have some sort of miscommunication where they both think something that's not true.
Yes, exactly.
I hate that.
I actually crazy.
Romeo and Juliet.
Absolutely hate that.
Miscommunication.
Like Loki, but Romeo and Juliet's a masterpiece. But that's a tangent. But yeah, I just mean like miscommunication as like a way to reveal character, I guess.
See what you're saying.
Not necessarily plot.
Yeah, interesting.
Wow, I didn't realize I had such specific opinions about that.
There you go. That's cool.
The bunker brings it out of all of us.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, guys. It's time for a pod deck.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll grab
Where
it.
are
Maybe. What do you mean maybe? I brought him over
Well,
here. You can do one today.
I was going to say,
Josiah.
honestly, my favorite part of the episode was just the moment traveling to Caspian's, of just like the switching back between the motorcycle
fun.
and the van.
That was really fun.
That was fun.
And it was like, that made me aware of like, man, I am playing Ace more than I anticipated this episode.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I loved that moment because like we've all been there where you're like either getting a ride from someone you don't know super well, or like an Uber, or like something where you're just sitting there and you're like,
and like your one friend is like trying.
Well, especially given y'all's tension. There was so much tension at that point between everyone.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think it was hilarious.
Ace thought everyone was mad at him.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious just how much June fixated on trying to resolve their conflict.
Honestly, that was so funny.
Listening back, I was like, oh my gosh.
I don't know. I don't know if I go towards it too much whenever I'm like playing a character. But I love having conflict with other characters because I feel like it forces like growth. And so I think it's very fun. Like I enjoyed playing that this episode with your character, Joe. I thought that was a lot lot of fun.
Yeah,
personally.
it was good.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't know. It sets up so many options to like go like there's so many things that could happen with that conflict now set up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It gives a lot of avenues for different
and who knows
growth.
what's gonna happen? Me.
That's the recurring
You
thing.
guys don't, but I do.
Golly.
So
many things happened.
Speaking of that, like the whole like Ace thinking everyone was mad at him, I had this like as I was listening back as I was listening back to that, I had this idea on like this was a moment where I was like, man, I wish I had done this one thing differently as a DM. It wasn't like a major game changer, but I think it would be like I might try to do something like this again in the future if I'm ever DMing. And that's like the moment where it was like when we were rolling competing checks, like you were rolling a deception check and I was rolling insight check, and then on our way out there was this is what made me thought of that. So we rolled that check and then there was conversation that happened, but on our way like out of the venue or whatever, I said, oh, by the way, I don't know if you remember this, but Ace was there when you guys were talking at the beginning because you were blocking the doorway of the observatory, and then you were like, oh yeah, Cal remembers that, and it just cringes. And I'm like, I would handle that situation by like, you know, keeping Ace in front of you and asking you to roll an insight check. So instead of you just like remembering that because I kind of like out of game said it.
You out of game said that?
Yeah, kind of.
That's right.
So instead of doing that, what I would have done differently is just keep Ace there, have your character roll insight, and then if they rolled like, you know, above a 10, then it would be a lower DC on the immediately following history check to see if they could remember.
Yeah, that's okay. So that is an interesting point because
that's how that interaction works in real life. Is like based on because you like are trying to read someone's face maybe, and then if you read it the right way, you go, oh wait a minute, I know why they are confused.
Yeah, I feel like, and the thing is that Joe, you forgot about it until Josiah reminded you out of game.
Right.
Yeah.
So that does raise the question of like how metagamey.
Yeah.
Right.
Like my memory as a player, does that apply to my memory as a character?
Right.
And we've talked about this a lot,
Yeah, we've gone back and forth.
not even necessarily on podcast of like in our home game, we have some people in our group who are like really knowledgeable about like D&D monsters and like D&D lore. And so we'll be like, oh, I know who this is based off of like these 2 hints. But would my character know about this? And so that's where those types of roles are really interesting, because you kind of have to figure out what's metagamey or what's not.
Yeah, like
That's
I'm rolling
always
an
an
insight
interesting
check
line.
to know something that I already know.
Yeah.
But it's like because my character like might not know it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but rather than having just given you that out of game reminder, I would have just like had you roll like a couple of checks
what you're saying
to
now.
kind of like
I see what you're
simulate how that thought could occur to you.
Right.
Like if you were in that real life situation.
Yeah.
I'm following.
Yeah.
Now.
Cool.
So I was just zooming into like one thing I fixated on as I was listening to the episode.
Love that.
Anyways, pod decks.
Yeah.
Pod decks.
Why don't you just pick one?
Alyssa did
Well, why
it
don't we
all
roll
last
for one?
time.
Yeah, Alyssa was just like, I'm picking and drawing, and here's the question. Last time.
Wow.
Can you not?
Thank you,
Wow.
Laura, for that.
Yeah.
Can
great,
you
it was a
not?
perfect impression.
That was just not me
lame.
for the record. That was all.
So,
I'm
Joe,
No,
hurt.
that was me, but I mean, thank you, Laura, for
Joe, why
saying
don't you go
wow
ahead?
because of how good it was.
No.
Okay, so Laura, why don't you go ahead and roll a d6?
Okay.
This is for the pod decks listeners, in
That's
case
right.
you were wondering why we're rolling a d6.
Sick.
It's a 6?
It's a wild card.
Okay, Joe, pick a number 1 through 5.
Why can't I just pick the...
I think he gets to
Joe,
pick.
All right.
Just say 5 and then it'll
Yeah,
be the one you
it's
want it to
usually
be.
the wild- 4.
4. All right, awesome. So we're going to go with the interview deck.
He picked number 5. Wait, we did the interview deck last time. We should do it
Yeah.
again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do the what the heck one. Or the
What the
would
heck
you
deck.
rather.
So what the heck? Or would you rather?
You should do what the heck.
Okay.
So
We're going to do the episode
still
deck.
do the
completely
episode
obsolete.
Yeah.
Let's do a deck that's for a full entire episode of a podcast.
Is that what that is?
I mean, yeah, but
All
we
right,
can
all right,
do it.
what
in
you
a-
got, brother?
We can do it in a question.
Huh? No, it's fine.
All right, somebody roll a 52-sided die
Ready?
to pick the card.
Someone do a
Are
flip.
you struggling, brother?
No, it's okay.
He just
I'm
put
going
away.
to do the interview deck.
Oh.
Here we go.
Thanks, Laura.
You're welcome.
Just why
That's
did
what you
you do
flip.
that?
Yeah. That's
right.
a good flip.
Would you rather be the most popular kid in school or the smartest kid in school?
This is a trick
Smartest.
question. I'm both.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Joe, I don't know why, but that makes me so angry. That makes me
fair.
so
Laura
angry.
hates being faced with reality.
No. Oh.
Laura's seething right now.
Why does that make my
what was
blood
y'all's,
boil?
What was y'all's like?
Because you were the smart kid in school. That's why.
What was y'all's like senior superlatives or whatever? Do you remember what they were?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm changing this question completely.
In college we did it. I don't know if we did it in high school.
Did what?
Yeah, high school.
We did have it in high
Superlatives.
school, but I
Oh.
don't remember what it was.
Well, in
Me,
college,
Alyssa, and Josiah were in the same class, but Joe wasn't.
right.
Right.
In college, I got most hydrated
That's hilarious.
because I always had a water bottle with me. I was like, is
Imagine
that
getting-
all you freaks see me as, bro?
She drinks water.
Imagine going to a school where it's
so
impressive
dang.
that you drink water.
I
was
mean,
like-
she drinks water.
Ooh. Do you have a favorite coffee mug? If so,
He likes this.
what's on it or what
I
makes it
actually
your favorite?
really like this.
Oh,
Okay.
I have a good
See,
answer
the
to
what
this.
the heck one is the best deck.
I have
It
a good
is.
answer to this one.
Okay.
What
what is the question?
Mug.
That's
Okay,
Do
your
you,
favorite
do you have a
coffee
favorite
mug?
coffee mug? If so, what's on it or what makes
Got
it your
it.
favorite?
Got it. Laura, you seem like you're ready for this one.
Yeah, she's adjusting her mic stand. She's
I
ready.
have a mug that it's like a nice little white mug that it's like the perfect size that holds just the amount of coffee that you want to drink in one sitting without it getting cold too fast.
So like a mug's worth.
Well, you know how some mugs are so huge and you're like, this is great. I can have so much
It's a
coffee.
soup mug.
But you really can't drink it all without
Yeah.
it cooling off first.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like the perfect amount. And it's a white mug with a picture of Nick cage with a flower crown on it that says National Treasure.
Oh,
Nice.
My
Cool.
national treasure.
That's
I like
nice.
that.
And it's my favorite.
That's
it's
a good
my favorite
mug.
Yeah,
mug.
it's a nice one.
I respect that.
I
That's
just
awesome.
love it so much. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good one. Alyssa?
I have a mug that
You're
yeah.
my national treasure. That's what it says. Sorry, I forgot.
nice. Necessary addendum. Really.
Yeah,
That's
it's
important.
really
Very
important.
important.
Yeah.
Very.
Just,
It really is.
Truly.
I needed to know that. It is this mug. What?
Yeah, that didn't seem like you really
I
meant it.
needed to know that.
Yeah.
No.
You're like, yeah, that was awesome. I didn't need to know that.
Oh
Anyway.
gosh, I actually genuinely meant
No,
it.
no,
though.
no. I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you
I'm
did.
sure
I
you
know
did.
you did.
And I'm sure you did.
I really was
Yeah.
like,
She
I
didn't
really
mean it.
wanted
Yeah.
to know
Listeners,
that.
in case you're curious, Alyssa's the kind of person who would never say that
I don't think Alyssa's ever been sarcastic ever.
She just sometimes, yeah, she's just.
Alyssa, every time she tells me anything, she's never sarcastic. She's always like, Joe, you're hilarious.
Okay,
and I know she's telling the truth.
I think except for
I
you,
think if
Joe.
there's anyone I'm sarcastic with,
I think
it's
Joe's the
you,
only
brother.
exception.
Yeah, it's the two of you. Yeah. I have this mug, and I forget what the brand was called, but
That's awesome.
they do it's like a ceramic mug. It's handmade individually, like
Yeah.
where they like do the whole thing. And my friend your brother gave it to me actually. And it's like this really pretty green like glaze on it, and it has like mountains etched into it. I think it says like the mountains are calling, or like something cheesy and whatever, but it's like super cute. And it has the handle on the like top of the curve of the handle. There's like a little spot to rest your thumb on top of the handle. And it is like it's like so satisfying to me. You know what I mean? Where it's just like perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love that mug.
You know
a
those
lot.
like Gilmore Girls posters where they're holding the mugs and everyone was making fun of it when they came out, where they like hold the mug and it looks so awkward. 'Cause one of the
Yes.
girls is holding it with like two fingers.
Yeah.
And the wrist is all like.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
funny. Anyway,
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold your mugs correctly, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gosh. Or Laura will come for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Josiah.
I have a mug that is like, it's like one of those like basic white coffee mugs that just has like black text on it, but this text is just like a very long acronym that just has like, like letter dot,
Acronym.
and it's the whole.
Can I
it's
guess?
an acronym. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the Obie Annie.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
the entire
I
trans.
knew it.
It's
I
like
knew
an
it.
acronym of the entire exchange of like, I brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Next line, your new empire.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's
I
like
love it.
it's like that whole scene, but just like in letters.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And it's a mug that I saw an Instagram ad for, and I bought it for myself.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's great.
How about you, Joe?
Mine is not actually my mug. It's my mom's mug.
Boo.
Hold on now. I don't really have like a mug.
I know, yeah,
I don't
it's
really
okay.
drink hot drinks. But I have a sister with Down syndrome, and I just love pushing her buttons, as she says. And so every Christmas I always try to get like one like gift to push her buttons a little bit. So like one year I got my mom a mug that said like it says something along the lines of like, this mug is from my favorite son, and I'm really grateful for him so that I don't have to put up with like my annoying daughter or something like that. and my sister was like, no, but that's my favorite one just because I remember her
That's
reaction
funny.
of her seeing it on Christmas morning. My mom opened it and just like her straight face being like,
Aww.
that's not true. So that's my favorite.
That's
That was my
That's
favorite
very
one.
funny.
I bought a mug for my mom once for like either Christmas or her birthday that says, sorry for all the mugs that I've broken, and sorry in advance for breaking this one too.
Nice. I love
Solid.
that. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Comment
Comment your favorite mug.
Yeah, tell us what
Yeah,
your
describe your
mugs-
favorite mug.
Are you the kind of person who has too many that you never use? / are you the kind of person who has mugs all around your house, half filled with coffee and tea at all times?
All of the
Yeah,
above.
but instead of that question, just tell us what your favorite mug is.
Oh.
Oh, and answer all the questions.
Yes.
And tell us
but no.
tell us a genre and hook
Yes,
that
but
we should do. Comment, just keep commenting.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
We read them all.
Yeah, I wanted to say this on YouTube specifically. I want to see somebody start a long conversation with Joe where the replies just keep happening.
I'm
you
down.
like have like a full uninterrupted conversation that could last weeks.
About
like
what?
Like just texting.
All right, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Start a
Someone
full-on,
comment on
weeks-long
this
conversation.
episode,
Yeah.
and I will reply to you not every day. I will try to reply to you as
Consistently.
much as we can. Consistently. We'll
Yeah.
have a long conversation.
Start a very
Nothing
long
like super
conversation.
personal, but let's just
commitment.
like have like, you know.
Yeah, tell Joe about your day. Joe will
just
tell you about
catch
his
up.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
That is
I'm
a
down.
commitment.
It's fine with me.
I like that.
Wow.
I think that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I would love to say thank you once again to Silly Farms.
Wackadoodles. Yeah.
Whack-a-mole.
Wackadoodles. Get yours today. 2 for $5.
Yep.
No, that's not what it was.
Buy 2, get 5 free.
There it is. This episode coming up is a banger.
This episode
It's very
coming up
fun.
is a banger.
No, this episode coming up is a good one. All right, y'all. 2 episodes left.
They're fun. They're gonna be great. Thanks for coming. Bye.
That was good.
All right. Then we'll fade that out.